I'm Amil Niazi in for Elamin Abdelmahmoud. This is Commotion, and we're back again with another edition of TIFF in 12, our bonus podcast where we take you inside, behind the scenes of the Toronto International Film Festival. Rad and Teri, you guys must be exhausted at this point. I mean, Teri, you just came running in here. You just drank a Diet Coke. What is going on?
I just saw my favorite movie of the festival. So I'm on that high that happens when you sit in a theater of strangers and you're all seemingly having a collective breath because you know what you are seeing is really, really having an emotional impact. The storytelling, the visual, the performances. It's Tuner. It's Daniel Rohr, who people will remember won the Academy Award from Navalny, the documentary Navalny.
Yes.
Thank you, collective minds. I need that right now. And this is his first feature film, stars Dustin Hoffman and Leo Woodall, who is having a festival.
He's the guy from White Lotus, right?
He is in White
he's
Lotus.
in the Italian
season.
Yeah.
Season 2 of White Lotus. And he's also in Nuremberg with Russell Crowe and Rami Malek. And I think he's who you're talking about after Nuremberg. And his performance as a piano tuner is just... I'm going to do it. I'm going to say Pitch Perfect. I'm sorry.
No.
But a piano tuner that cracks safes.
Get punny.
I think that's what the movie's about. It's like a heist movie.
It's a piano tuner turned into a heist movie with a physical disability in there as well. It really is, and it's so stylish. Daniel Rohr really, really shows he co-wrote the script. So not only does he show what he's capable of in terms of storytelling outside of an interview scenario, which, most documentaries are, but he's showing how he can craft a story, direct actors, and visually support everything that's on the script. I really think that this should go at the top of everybody's list for People's Choice. I hope the festival adds another screening of it. And I know Rad hopes that too because he's missed it.
I had to give away my ticket to the premiere yesterday just because of writing deadlines. This is the reality of TIFF. There's this movie you really want to see because she mentioned Daniel Rohr, not first feature film, but first fiction feature film, right? Because he was in documentary before and he's Canadian. And, between him and then producer Joanne Seller, who does a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson films, that combination had me being I need to see that movie. But lo and behold, writing deadlines, all that, I had to give away my ticket. There's not enough. I didn't think I could make this morning screening, so I'm hoping TIFF, like you said, adds another screening so I can catch up to that one.
So, okay,
go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, Teri, how do you know a movie's going to get, what makes it so special that you come out of the screening you're flustered, you're excited? What is that magic that you're talking about?
That magic happens, when you see as many movies as Rad and I do, when you sit in those dark rooms with those collective strangers, you can feel after a while a certain temperature. There were moments in this movie that I swear to you, not a person was moving. And as I said, there's that collective kind of emotional breath that you can feel. And that happens in this movie. And it's a thing that happens during the Toronto Film Festival specifically because a lot of times people who are buying tickets and going are cinephiles. They've had elevated, they've watched a lot of movies. They're looking for that experience as well. And I really do think that Tuner might surprise people. I even think that it might surprise those who are responsible for distributing it, who have a bunch of films in the festival. And I don't feel that they have been positioning this one as the winner that I really think it is.
And I just want to add, I think it's especially telling when you're at a second screening, the stars are not there. You're with the more dedicated people who want to see the film, not just for the star power and the red carpet and the gloss and stuff. And if you're feeling that energy in that kind of a screening, that's where it really hits, right? Because the star power screenings, those long-standing ovations tend to be just let's flatter the stars that are in our presence and we're happy to be here.
And Dustin Hoffman was here for the premiere as well as Leo Woodall. And so, that bling factor is significant and can kind of shift people's perspective. So I was reading some stuff on it. Some colleagues of ours who were at that premiere said it's great. So I was able to get there. In full transparency, I had to leave 7 minutes before the end to come and do this podcast. So I didn't see exactly the end of the movie, but I'm told by people who have that it maintains its strength through the end. So I think this is buzzy.
Great. Well, let's move to another very buzzy movie. It's Frankenstein, starring Jacob Elordi and Mia Goth. This is the Guillermo del Toro film. You were both at the premiere of it last night. Rad, what did you like about this movie?
I mean, look, like it's gorgeous, right? I mean, when you're talking about Guillermo del Toro, I mean, he knows how to put together the most striking, sumptuous visuals, and that's really what this movie has to offer, and almost only what it has to offer. I mean, like he's adapting the Mary Shelley novel Frankenstein, and then he's sticking true to kind of like the emotional beats of that story. I think my sticking problem with Guillermo del Toro is that he is the star of his movies. It's all about his visuals, and I think he kind of leaves his actors dangling to figure things out on their own. And so some of the kind of the emotional beats of the movie weren't hitting as hard as I could have, because it felt like some of the actors were just in different movies. And you're talking about great actors. You're talking about Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi and Mia Goth, who's just a striking presence whenever she shows up. But it just I don't know that it felt like, especially when it's like over 2.5 hour movie, I don't know that I felt the emotional connections to it, but I was constantly, like, ooh, let me just savor how sumptuous this all looks.
Right.
Yeah.
So Teri, speaking of some of those emotional beats and connections, I've heard the movie is, meant to sort of raise larger questions about what it is to be human, which I think is true of a lot of these Guillermo del Toro films, right? Whether it's Pan's Labyrinth or whatever, it's about, can we see ourselves in these monsters or whatever. So did the plot land that for you? Did it get there?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is what Frankenstein is as well, right? Like that is the monster and the human, and where do we meet and how are we different? I think it delivers on that. It's my criticism is it's just too long. It's a full 2.5 hours. It's set up as a prelude, and then we tell Victor Frankenstein's story, and then we tell the creature story. And I was with both of those stories until the last 10 minutes of each of them, because they're both too long. So it's hard for anybody to sustain those emotional beats for that long of a time. You're asking a lot from your audience. You bring up Pan's Labyrinth, Amil, and I would suggest there's more Pan's Labyrinth in this Guillermo del Toro than we've seen in a while. I think that's the one he's hearkening back to most with Frankenstein. There's no doubt that Guillermo del Toro is one of the most beautiful filmmakers working today. He is truly an artist. When you interview him, which I've had the pleasure to do many times, he comes with his book that he's always sketching in, and he's drawing these beautiful, beautiful pieces of art. And those are actually in the movie. We see, people flipping through the books that are obviously Guillermo del Toro's. And the lore around him is fantastic. He does goth so well. He does those big moments so well. There's just too much somehow in Frankenstein. And I feel like this is a Netflix movie, and, Netflix has prided itself on saying we let directors have the final cut. And I think we are coming to a time where we need to question that a little bit with these.
Especially when this is a movie he's been trying to make for 20 years. So you get that it's a passion project and they let him indulge, and you feel the indulgence.
I will say I think Oscar Isaac is fantastic as Victor Frankenstein in this. I really think he delivers in a huge way.
Okay, well, this sounds like a great movie, and I want to move to a little bit of a funny topic when it comes to festivals, and that is Q&As. Now, some people love them, some people hate them, but wherever you land, they're a festival mainstay. So I'm going to play you a little clip. It's a little hard to hear, but bear with me, okay?
Concerns with playing a part that was potentially a bit closer to home, or if you felt like it was going to take. I know I'm imagining it in a bathroom on your phone trying to go viral. I'm so sorry. Or there are any concerns about it shaking the fictional world of the film?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, listen. Obviously, at face value, there's a little bit of an overlap, and that could be part of the.
Okay, so, if you can't hear exactly what's happening there, someone in the audience is asking Chris Evans about his role in this movie Sacrifice, where he plays a failing movie star, okay? And she basically says, did you take the role because it felt like it hit close to home? And you see his face drop, and Anya Taylor-Joy's on stage with him, and her face kind of drops in the video. So, I mean, I feel like I have that experience at every Q&A. We were just cringing and dying inside.
I would have loved a moment like that.
Really?
It's that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
That's it's those moments that kind of break the very polite, regular BTS, tell me about your craft, like that kind of stuff. You know, like 'cause some of these Q&As can be so controlled and can be so feeling like we're just listening to like junket material or press material and the things that the studio and the producers and the marketing team wants you to hear. So having those offhand, awkward moments really brings life to Q&As, I think.
I agree. I mean, the fact is you open up the Q&A to the audience and there's a real vulnerability there.
Yeah.
You do not know. These are not professionals. They're not paid to be there. They're going to ask whatever's coming to mind. I'm just so happy that person actually asked a question and didn't make a statement. Because
Yeah,
at
those are
Q&As,
worse.
one of the mainstays is not a question, just a statement. And those are the ones that I want to pull my hair out because, generally that person's just interested in kind of hearing their own voice, which I get. It's exciting. Premieres are exciting. Movie stars tend to be exciting. But yeah, it is, you never know what's going to come out of an audience member's mouth. And I
Yes,
think we
very
saw
true.
that and they reacted, right? We saw that on Chris and Anya Taylor-Joy's face.
That's so true. Well, I only have a minute left, so I need very quickly, what is next for both of you? Terry, where are you off to?
I am seeing Train Dreams this afternoon, and I'm also seeing another movie, which I forget right now. Just go ahead, Red, and I'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, right now, I have to go figure out what's going on with my Ticketmaster account because I'm basically locked out of my Ticketmaster account where I hold all my film festival tickets.
Oh, no.
So if I could solve that, then I'm going to go see Train Dreams.
Okay,
and then
great.
I'm going to go to the
And Ballad of a Small Player is on my agenda, too.
Okay, perfect. Well, this has all been very exciting. Rad, Simonpillai, Teri, Hart covering TIFF for Commotion. Also on Commotion tomorrow, we are talking about the 50th anniversary of TIFF. Going to be amazing. Some highlights and also where the festival is going from here. TIFF in 12 is also back tomorrow. We'll see you then.
See you then.